The fourth season of Lucifer left us speechless as he rose from the dead and ended up revealing his true identity to the beautiful Chloe. Well, before his return to hell to keep his loved ones safe. Season 5 is everything we wanted. Now let's dive right in to the 8 episodes of Season 5 and go through the big turn of events and some details you didn't notice. Number 8, Episode 1, Really Sad Devil Guy. Our dear Lucifer runs into a familiar face in the first episode of Season 5. Lee Gardner. You probably remember that Lucifer gave him money and gold in Season 4. He then started living a better life on a yacht, and he later took bullets in the chest and ended in Lucifer's watch. And Lucifer decided to help Lee solve his murder since he's sure who's going to investigate it. Chloe, of course. She interviews Lee's sister, Meg, but she says she has no idea who killed her brother. Later, she goes to a high-stakes poker game managed by Dirty Doe Dargisian. This is where Lee lost so much. Meanwhile, Lucifer realizes Lee can't help him, and he goes and destroys the shadow version of LA, leaving them in a dark hellscape. Back to Chloe. She does find a suspect who runs into the road and gets creamed by traffic, Meet Joe Black style. And Lucifer pops one of his demons into the man's body and shows Chloe a message. It's safe where you stored it. Chloe has no idea what this means, but fortunately, Ella does. Lucifer and Lee's relationship gets worse as Lucifer insults Lee for choosing an eternity alone over disappointing his family again. Later, a demon appears to warn Lucifer that Chloe's in danger. On Earth, there's bullets everywhere. Lucifer then saves Chloe and they finally kiss. Only Chloe doesn't seem to be happy about it since she thinks Lucifer is somehow different, and she's right. The episode ends with Lucifer in Lee's hell loop, refusing to help Chloe. Number 7, Episode 2, Lucifer, Lucifer, Lucifer. In Episode 2 of Season 5, Michael has practically killed it with passing off as Lucifer's brother while helping Chloe solve a murder. We all know he wanted to take Lucifer's relationship with Chloe to the next level. Well, he got shot in the leg and later in the chest. He did not give up though. He wanted a fight. Before sneaking off to Lux, he said to Chloe that she is a gift from God, put on Lucifer's path for a reason. What is the meaning of these words? Well, she was never meant to exist, and her purpose on Earth is destined. After Michael's exit, Chloe is devastated by this and goes to Lucifer's penthouse. This episode may be the most watched episode of Lucifer, and as the co-writer Joe Henderson told, you're always looking for that reason for them to get a little closer and a little further away. Now let's go with Episode 3, which focuses more on how Chloe was to be a part of Lucifer's existence. Number 6, Episode 3, Diablo. Lucifer gets back to LA in Episode 3 after Amenadiel goes on a quick trip to hell to tell his brother about his twins' recent events. Lucifer then leaves Amenadiel in charge of hell. The devil joins Chloe for the latest case. On the other side, Maze gets nostalgic about much simpler times with Lucifer while Chloe thinks it's Michael talking to her when Lucifer walks up to her. But it's Lucifer. He quickly proves to her it's really him. She is happy to see him, but he only gets a hug since she wants to know the truth about Michael's story, the one about her being a gift from God. Chloe discovers that Diablo has been killed in his trailer. And Lucifer finds out that Diablo has been writing his notes about the case in the margins. People killed since they had a yarning, and guys, Matt Killer was Freedom. They later find out that the killer was the number 2, which is not Carrie. Number 5, Episode 4, It Never Ends Well for the Chicken. Episode 4 is such a special episode since it's where Trixie wants Lucifer to tell him a story. He starts his story, and we are getting a black and white screen as Lucifer keeps narrating. He visits the garden club. Lilith and Maze's mother is singing there. Lily and Lucifer catch up with a drink. She then tells Lucifer that her ring was stolen and how her ring meant everything to her. So our devil wants to help her get the ring back, but he needs help from Jack, Chloe. So episode 4 is more like an old-fashioned crime story. The story gets more and more dramatic as Lucky Larry arrives at Jack's house, and you can see that he's been stabbed in the back. He then dies on Jack's doorstep. The part where Lucifer learns about Jack's love life is where you could see the connection in their love story with the love story of Lucifer and Chloe. Then Lucifer and Jack meet Willie, and he says he knows where the ring is. Then there's all this drama about the ring, and the ending is Maze visiting the apartment to see Lily. Maze just wants to know why did she leave them, and this scene shows that Lily did not get the life she wanted. Number 4, Episode 5, Detective Amenadiel. For now, I'm going to stick to police work and avoid anything God-related. Lucifer and his irony. Season 5, and especially Episode 5, covers much of Lucifer and Chloe's relationship difficulties. Both Lucifer and Chloe are feeling like they have been played by God for his own plans. But just like the episode's name, it's Amenadiel that will help Chloe and Lucifer get back in this episode. However, the investigation in this episode goes with Dan doing all the detective work, and Chloe and Amenadiel go to find out more about the murder of Sister Victoria, along with the truth about Lucifer's vulnerability. Now, Sister Francine says that when she looks at Amenadiel, she feels closer to God. This leads to Chloe realizing the nature of her relationship with Lucifer. Then they both catch up and get closer to each other, and Lucifer tells Chloe that she has all the time in the world despite the fact that he believes that he doesn't have enough time. Chloe then realizes that Lucifer chooses to be vulnerable around her. Amenadiel discovers an even more important role through his association with Chloe and Lucifer. Number 3, Episode 6, Blue Balls. At the beginning of Episode 6, we can see Lucifer and Chloe showing up to the crime scene together, and Ella teases them about it. The next day, all of them stumble upon a famous DJ, and just before Ella talks to him, he shouts, "Chloe!" And we can see the devil getting all jealous in this scene since Chloe used to date the famous DJ. Except Dan tells Lucifer to keep an eye on that guy since he tried to get back with her after they split up. Lucifer and Chloe follow their lead at a demonstration at Jet's housing construction site, and Lucifer notices the name of the project is the Cherry Jane Foundation. So Jet is not over Chloe. And after all the drama, Lucifer succeeds in finding out why Chloe and Jet broke up, as he tells him she lost interest after finding out about his uncovered mysteries. Lucifer puts all the pieces of the puzzle together and declines all calls from Chloe. And the episode is ending with Chloe and Lucifer apologizing to each other and finally give in to the sexual tension. Number 2, Episode 7, Our MOJO. You guys thought Michael was gone? Well, you're wrong. He is back and he has a new plan. Will this one work? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's start with how excited Ella was because Chloe and Lucifer finally had sex. The next day, Chloe wakes up with already known ability to get people to confess their darkest desires. And we got our devil freaking out since this was his thing. Except Chloe is loving it. They later find out it only works for Lucifer. Maze sits down with Amenadiel and he gives her some advice about her wanting a soul. He tells her that anything is possible and gives her encouragement. We move on to Dan. He visits Charlotte's grave and he cries and misses her along with asking for help and a sign. Michael then shows up in angel form and says that he's Archangel Michael, and tells him that there is only one way to protect his loved ones. Dan later shoots Lucifer since he believes that he is truly evil. Chloe goes to Lucifer's side, filled with fear. Number 1, Episode 8, Spoiler Alert. Lucifer is just fine after being shot by Dan. He is invulnerable again. So what happened? This episode focuses on Ella and Pete, mostly on Ella, since she decides to give a guy a chance and he turns out to be the biggest idiot in the world. He turns out to be a serial killer, which is revealed in their date. He even tries to kill Ella. Fortunately, she fights back and runs away. Meanwhile, Lucifer tries to get his revenge on Dan, but Chloe talks him out of it. Chloe sends Lucifer a message, which she isn't able to finish since someone has grabbed her. As it turns out, it's Michael. Elle, Lucifer, and Maze are trying to find her. Later, we see that everyone but Michael, Lucifer, and Amenadiel and Maze are frozen. Maze teams up with Michael, and the four give us an unbelievable fight. We end our video here. How do you feel about Season 5 of Lucifer? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos such as this. Thanks for watching, guys.